Story Time is brought to you by पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ नॉर्थ टेक्सास। पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी में हम आहंगी का फरोग और मुस्बत सोच को परवान चढ़ाना हमारा मकसद और पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी के नुक्ते नज़र को मौसर अंदाज में पेश करना हमारी कोशिश का महवर। पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के हम कदम पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ नॉर्थ टेक्सास।
Welcome to another great session of Story Time, where we listen to some interesting and true stories from Quran. And with another great session, let's see who is here with us.
Hi, it's Larry.
Lare,
Hey, it's Anas.
Anas,
Hello everyone. Today you have Isha with you.
Isha,
Hello, it's Hafsa.
Hafsa. Okay, so you're all ready for another great story?
Yes.
Okay, so last time we were listening to the story of Hazrat Maryam, right? And we said that he had a son. And what was his name?
Hazrat Isa.
Isa. And the first miracle happened the day he was born. And what happened the day he was born?
He replied.
Yes, he talked to people. He replied to people's questions. And he said that I am Abdullah, I am slave of Allah. And I am blessed by Allah. And Allah has told me to offer my salah and give zakat to other people. And Allah has told me to be good to my parents. And Allah has told me to be nice to others and not to yell and scream to others. That's what Allah has told me. And I'm blessed the day I'm born. And I'll be blessed the day I will die. And that was the first thing, amazing thing that happened to Hazrat Isa. And as he started to grow up, he had so many miracles that he performed by the command and power of Allah. You know, one day when he was a small boy, he went to a house and they had all their things stolen by some thief. And he was a young boy, hardly 6-7 years old. And the people of that house, they were all crying.
He was from Bani Israel.
Yes, he was from Bani Israel, exactly. And he was sent to the people of Bani Israel to guide them. And Allah gave him so many miracles. So that day, when he was in that house and he saw things being stolen and people crying and hoping to find the thief, he sat there.
Did he present some miracles or special powers?
Yes, I'm going to tell you some miracles. Okay? And one of the miracles I'm telling you right now, that he looked at those people who had their things stolen, and he said, I will tell you who stole your things. And people were amazed. They looked at him and he said, how you know? Who are the thieves? He said, Allah has told me. And they said, okay, then tell me. He said, a distance from here, on that road are traveling two people. And the main sign is that one of them is without a leg and the other one is blind. And they are carrying a bag on their shoulder. They have stolen your things. And everyone ran on that road. And just few meters away, they found exactly the two men. And they caught them and brought them back. And of course, they had all the stolen things. So miracle after miracle happened. One day as a boy, he was playing outside in the field. And he saw a boy, a dead boy, somebody had killed that boy. And rest of the people, when they found out a dead boy, they all came to see. And they were all trying to figure out that how this boy got killed, who killed him. And then Hazrat Isa came and he said, with the permission of Allah, with the guidance of Allah, I will tell you who has killed this boy. And he touched that boy and he said, by the order of Allah, rise and tell us who has killed you. And the boy risen. He got up and stood up and said, I was killed by that person. And he named that person. And then he died again.
What was the name of that person?
I don't know. No one knows. He was just a boy. But this, it's not important that what was the name of that person. The important thing is that Allah gave Hazrat Isa so much power that he could, reawaken a dead person. And then one day, everyone decided that Hazrat Isa would go and get some training to do some work, right? So he was sent to a man whose job was to color the cloth, the way your clothes are colored. So he put that person, he knew how to color the clothes. So Hazrat Isa was sent there. And that person, the person who colored the cloth, told Isa, who was a young man as old as our friend here, that put these clothes into water and put color in each bowl, a different color, and learn how to color the cloth. And with that, the person, the coloring man, he left. And Hazrat Isa was left behind. And you know what Hazrat Isa did? He collected all the clothes and put them in one big bowl of water. And he put all the colors in that bowl. And what would happen if you do that?
The colors will be mixed.
The colors will be mixed. All the clothes will have this multicolors, right? And when his teacher came back, he said, what did you do? You put all the clothes in one bowl and put all the colors there. All these clothes will be destroyed now. And Hazrat Isa said, don't worry. Take each cloth out one by one. And that man was so angry that what this boy is talking about. And he went there and he took out one cloth. And that cloth was colored just the color that it wanted it to be. And then he took the other cloth and it had the color that was supposed to be on it. And that man was surprised. He went back to the family, Hazrat Isa's family. He said, I have nothing to teach him. He is amazing. He can do things that I cannot do. So Hazrat Isa came back.
So he was blessed with prophethood?
No, not yet. All these things were happening even before he became a prophet. And that is special about Hazrat Isa. All the other prophets had their miracles once they became prophet. But Hazrat Isa started performing miracles before he became a prophet. And he had so much power given to him by Allah that he made birds out of clay. Those toys, the plastic. Now you have those plastic birds, right? At that time, people made birds out of clay for children to play, right? As a toy. So Hazrat Isa held a bird made of clay and said to the bird, I command you by Allah's name that become real and fly away. And right then the clay bird changed into a real bird and flew away. And he did this thing many, many times. And people were amazed. And one day people were sitting and they were talking about this great flood. You remember the prophet on whose time there was this great flood and he built a boat?
Hazrat Noor.
Hazrat Noor. Remember that? Yes. So Hazrat Noor and his family were riding in what? A big
Boat.
boat, right? And who was there beside Hazrat Noor's family and Muslims? Who was in that boat?
Animals.
Yes, good. Animals. So there were these people, they were sitting and they were saying, oh, we wish we knew more about that great flood. And Hazrat Isa was passing by. He stopped and he said to those people, do you want to know more about the great flood? And they said, yes, we want to know more about that great flood. And he said, come with me. And he was a young man. He was not too old. He was not even a prophet yet. And he took all these people with him to a place, and there was this grave. And all the people said, what we will find out from this grave? He said, this is the grave of Sam. And they said, who was Sam? He said, he was the son of Prophet Nuh. Really? Sam was a son of Prophet Nuh? And Hazrat Isa said, yes, Allah has told me this. And they said, okay, so now what? We want to learn more about the flood. He said, I am going to request Sam in the name of Allah, by the order of Allah, to get up and tell us about the great flood. And right at that time, the grave opened. Just like that, grave opened. And out of it, a man got up and stood up.
But was the dead body didn't disappear because there were many years?
See, it was all disappeared. But Allah recreated him just to show a miracle that, see, I can raise people from death just like this, and I will raise you all once this world is all gone. So after thousands of years, this happened, that Allah recreated that human being, and the grave opened and a man came up and stood and said, I am Sam, son of Noah, and I will tell you about the great flood that came in our times. And everyone sat down and looked at him. And then Sam told them everything about that great flood. And once he told everything, he went back into the grave, and all the mud came over and it became a grave again. These are the miracles of Hazrat Isa. But you know the strange thing? That when Hazrat Isa became a prophet at the age of 30, and he went to people and he said, from now on, I'm your prophet. And oh, the people of Bani Israel, it is my job to guide you. And he specially went to the powerful people of Bani Israel and said, don't cheat anymore. Don't harm other people.
When was he blessed with prophethood?
At the age of 30. At the age of 30.
Did they listen to Hazrat
And
Isa
they
alayhi salam?
didn't listen to him. Especially the rich, the powerful one, they didn't listen to him. They became his enemies. But he still went to them and talked to them over and over again. And very few people, very poor ones, accepted him as a prophet. And he said, okay, I have very few people who have accepted me as prophet. So come and I will teach you good things, things that Allah wants you to do. And one of those things was fasting, Saum. And he asked them to fast for 30 days. And they all fasted for 30 days. And everyone else made fun of them. Oh, look at them, they're fasting. Why they have to
What
fast?
is the meaning of fasting?
Fasting means not to eat or drink anything from morning till evening. From Fajr to Maghrib. Not to eat or drink anything is called fasting. Saum. In Arabic is called Saum. Just the way we do in which month? Ramadan, right. So they all fasted for 30 days. And they became good. And on the 30th day, they asked Hazrat Isa, can we request you something? And Hazrat Isa said, yes, please, go ahead. Can you ask Allah to send food from Jannah for us? A big table spread with lots of food from Jannah. And Hazrat Isa said, do you believe in Allah? He said, yes, we believe in Allah. And we will be so happy if Allah gives us this special food. And Hazrat Isa prayed to Allah. And Allah sent a table spread, a sheet from Jannah. And when it landed in front of those people, it had all kinds of fruits and meats and cheese and bread on it. And they all said, Bismillah wala barakatillah. And they all ate that food and they were happy. And from next day, Hazrat Isa started going out again, telling the powerful people of Bani Israel not to cheat others and behave well and not to harm others. And that made those powerful people very angry. And they thought, how should we control Isa? And they had an idea. They said, we will tell everybody that this man is a magician. He's not a prophet. And they came to Hazrat Isa and said, you're a magician, you're a magician. And Hazrat Isa cursed them. And you know what happened when he cursed them? They turned into pigs. And they all ran out of the room. And the rest of the powerful people of Bani Israel were angrier now. They were very angry. They said, this man must be killed. So they went to the king. And they said to the king that we have a man in Bani Israel.
What was the name of the king?
He was a Roman Empire, I forgot his name. So they went to the king and said, you know this man among us? His name is Isa. He wants to be the king. So one day he plans to kill you.
Did Allah protect him?
Yes, Allah protect him. And I'll tell you how Allah protected him. So he came, they went to the king and told him all kinds of wrong things about Isa. And they lied to the king because Hazrat Isa never planned to become a king. He never wanted to kill the king. He was only there to guide the people of Bani Israel. And Roman Empire, Roman king, he believed in what these people were saying.
But a king must have listened to both of the sides.
They see, this has happened. He didn't do that. That's a very good point. We must listen to both sides of the story before we make a decision, right?
Yes.
But Roman king didn't do that because he thought that all these powerful people of Bani Israel have come to him. They must be telling the truth. And he said to his soldiers, Go with these people of Bani Israel, catch this man Isa and kill him. And the soldiers came out of the palace with their swords, all ready to kill Isa alayhi salam. And right when they were planning it, Allah told Hazrat Isa that this is what's going on in the palace. And Hazrat Isa disappeared. And one man who was doing all this planning to kill Hazrat Isa, his face changed. Allah changed his face. And he looked, guess, like who?
Hazrat Isa.
Hazrat Isa. And Hazrat Isa was gone. And when the soldiers came, there was this man who looked like Hazrat Isa. And that man said, I'm not Isa. And they said, you are lying to us. And they caught him and they
Kill.
killed him. And that's how Hazrat Isa was saved. And then Hazrat Isa was dead. Allah gave death to him and he went back to Allah.
But he will come again.
Yes, we Muslims believe that one day he will come again.
Why? Why not any other prophets?
See, this is Allah's plan that he will ask Hazrat Isa to come back because Hazrat Isa had to complete the job that he left behind. He was young and the people of Bani Israel didn't listen to him. So Allah will complete at the end of time, Allah will complete Islam, implement Islam.
He will come before Qiyamah.
Yes, of course. He will come before the day of judgment. Good job. Okay, with this we end our today's session of story time, and you will see us again here at the same place at the same time with another great story from Quran. Till then, Assalamu alaikum.
Story Time was brought to you by पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ नॉर्थ टेक्सास। पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी में हम आहंगी का फ़रोग और मुस्बत सोच को परवान चढ़ाना हमारा मकसद और पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी के नुक्ते नज़र को मौसर अंदाज में पेश करना हमारी कोशिश का महवर। पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी के हम कदम पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ नॉर्थ टेक्सास।